Welcome back, it's JWalter here. Home builders are in big trouble right now. This is because sales of newly constructed houses in the US tumbled in April. This is according to a new report from the US Census Bureau. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive right into the video. This was just announced this morning at the time of this video, which is the 24th of May. And if you guys get any value out of this video, of course, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's begin today's video. So this was just announced this morning, which is the 24th of May, and this is according to the US Census Bureau for April 2022. As you can see here, the number of new home sales absolutely plummeted in April, and this is actually below expectations, or far below expectations of what the street was expecting as well. And by the way, a new home sale is defined as when a deposit is taken or a sales agreement is signed, and this can occur prior to a permit being issued. So in other words, this is a really good leading indicator of our housing market because this is really acting like a pending home sale and not a closed home sale. So basically, a home builder accepts a deposit from a home buyer, and then the house is constructed 6 to 12 months later, as long as it's a dirt lot and not a new home that has already been built, of course. So anyways, this is a great leading indicator of our housing market, and this is why I pay very close attention to this. So here's the latest we have from the US Census Bureau. So these are in thousands of units, and these are also seasonally adjusted numbers as well. So let's look at the number of home sales right now for April 2022. So new home sales came in at 591,000 at a seasonally adjusted rate. So in other words, at the current sales pace for April, if we maintain that same pace over the next 12 months, we would have 591,000 new home sales in the US. This is a big decrease compared to 1 month ago, down almost 17%. Compared to 1 year ago, down 27%. This is the slowest rate since April 2020, when basically our country was on lockdown because of COVID. So it really is mind-blowing to think that the current sales pace right now is the same sales pace we had when we had COVID lockdowns based in April 2020. So basically we're at 2-year lows for the number of new home sales in the US. And by the way, another aha moment for me was that even though we have 591,000 new home sales, the street was expecting 750,000 new home sales, so far below expectations. And here's a good graphic depiction to show you guys. Of course, this is according to Uncle Fred. Uncle Fred, and the source here is the US Census Bureau, or HUD. So right now we're at 591,000, again at a seasonally adjusted rate for April 2022. But look at this big decrease. Ever since December 2021, it's basically been on a free fall. So basically falling off a cliff. The lowest levels we had since April of 2020, which is just after COVID lockdowns in the US. New home sales at a regional level also fell dramatically across the board. The Northeast, the Midwest, and the South and the West all had a decrease compared to 1 month ago. In the South, decreased by 19.8% for the number of new home sales in the US. In the Northeast, the only one had a gain compared to 1 year ago of 17.1%. However, look at the South. It decreased by 36.6% in the number of new home sales from April 2021 to April 2022. And overall in the United States, year to date, home sales are actually down 13.3%. Okay, changing gears slightly, let's talk about housing inventory for brand new houses because those have been absolutely skyrocketing. So have a look at this. This is the month supply, or the total number of new homes for sale by the end of April 2022. So right now we had 444,000 new homes that are available for sale by the end of April. That's a gain of 40.1% compared to April 2021, and also a gain by 8.3% month to month. This is also the biggest supply we've had since at least the last 12 months. So we're at 444,000. 1 year ago, we had 317,000. So this is another mind-blowing stat here. This is the month supply. 1 year ago, it was 4.7 months. So that means at the current sales pace, all the new homes listed for sale will be sold in 4.7 months, given the current sales pace back in April 2021. However, jump forward to this year for April 2022, 9 months. That's a gain of 91.5% from 1 year ago, and also a huge gain of 30.4% compared to March of 2022. So this figure right here at 9 months, this is the biggest supply since May of 2010. So have a look at this. This is according to Uncle Fred, of course. Uncle Fred here, 9 month supply. When you look at this graphic here for month supply, always look at the source here at the bottom here. So if you guys ever go to Fred's website, always look at the source here, because when you see a source as the US Census Bureau or HUD, these are for new homes only, not existing houses. So right now we're at 9 months supply, the biggest supply since we had since May of 2010, when we had 9.3 months of housing supply. It's also worth mentioning that, of course, we have a buyer's market when we have more of a 6-month supply. But for the new home industry, it's a little bit different, because the US Census Bureau records housing supply when a builder basically pours foundations. So if the builder is pouring foundation for a house, but they're opting not to start construction of building that house, the US Census Bureau is going to record that as technically a house for sale, even though it's not. So this figure here does include houses that have been approved for permits, but the builder has opted not to start construction because of all these headwinds that builders are facing. So I'm not putting a whole lot of weight into this number here. However, the big increase compared to a month ago and also compared to a year ago is definitely something we should be paying attention to. Okay, let's talk about home prices for brand new houses. And if you guys already know, you definitely pay a premium to buy a brand new house compared to an existing house. So right now, the median sold price for April 2022 reached another all-time record high. So the median sold price was actually at $450,600. This is a big increase compared to 1 month ago. 1 month ago, the median sold price was $435,000. That also was an all-time record high as well. 1 year ago, the median sold price was only $376,000. So basically, we went up almost $100,000 in one single year. So again, when we're talking about home sales, these are signed contracts with buyers. Buyers who signed contracts in April, and this is what the US Census Bureau is reporting. So these are not closed contracts, they're not closed home sales, but they are acting like a pending home sale because it's really when the contract is signed, right? So in my personal opinion, the reason why we're seeing a big decrease, again, down 16% in 1 month and down almost 30% compared to 1 year ago, is because mortgage rates increased greatly in April. So basically in the start of April, mortgage rates were around 4.88%. At the end of April, they're at 5.4%. And given the median sold price was at $450 in one single month, again, increasing from 4.88% to 5.4%, that's a gain of $115 more that the home buyer is going to have to pay in order to buy the house. So here's a really good graphic here to show you guys. This is according to the Mortgage News Daily. So at the start of April, mortgage rates for the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage for people who have excellent credit, of course, was at 4.88%. When you ended the year, it was at 5.41%. This is a big increase. So for people buying the average new home in the United States, that's a gain on their mortgage payment by $111, which is causing some people to put the brakes on submitting offers on brand new houses here. So the median sold price, again, $450,000. Again, at the beginning of April, it was at 4.88%. Let's assume someone's putting 20% down. That's a loan balance or a loan amount of $360,000. We're not going to be looking at home insurance, taxes, or HOA dues, but that would give you a mortgage payment of $1,908 per month for principal and interest only. Again, that's for the mortgage payment for April 1st of this year. Fast forward to the end of April though, assuming the same home price, of course the same down payment as well, at 5.4%, that would give you a housing payment of $2,024 per month. So basically in one single month to buy basically the same house, your mortgage payment is going to be $111 more. And given the fact we have 40-year highs for inflation, gas prices are absolutely insane. In Sacramento, it's around $6. A lot of people don't have as much discretionary income as they once did 1 year ago. So in my opinion, a lot of people are putting the brakes on buying houses right now, especially new homes, given the fact that mortgage rates have been increasing greatly. So part of the reason why we're seeing record high home prices for brand new houses is because we're seeing more home sales on the upper range. So have a look at this. This is a number of home sales by price range, and this is a percent distribution. The percent distribution for the number of home sales in April 2022 compared to April 2021 here. So for the price range of over $750,000 for April 2022, that represented 14% of all home sales. Back in April 2021, that only represented 6%. Also for this price range, 500,000 to basically 750,000, 1 year ago, 20% of the houses sold in that price range. And fast forward 1 year, it's at 29%. So a higher share of houses that sold for over 500,000 compared to 1 year ago. In stark contrast though, for the houses that are in the more affordable range at 200,000 to basically 300,000, 1 year ago, that represented 23% of all sales. Fast forward to April this year, that only represented 9% of all sales. So basically in 1 year, we went from 23% down to 9% for houses that sold in the range of 200,000 to 300,000. Therefore, this is one reason why we're seeing record high home prices for new homes construction, because we're seeing more home sales in the upper range and not so much in the more affordable range. Okay, changing gears slightly again, let's talk more about housing inventory by stage of construction. This is a super important metric to follow here. So again, we have 444,000 new single family houses for sale as of the end of April 2022. Far higher than at least the last year here. So for houses that have not started construction yet, look at this big increase. 1 year ago, we had 85,000 houses that were technically for sale, but they have not started construction yet. Now it's 118,000, a big increase this year. Also for houses under construction, 1 year ago, it was basically under 200,000 at 199,000. Now it's 288,000, the biggest amount we've seen in at least 12 months as well. So here's a very important metric we should be following though. So for houses that are completed, meaning the house is absolutely completed, ready for a new home buyer to actually submit an offer and to move in. So for houses that have been completed, for April 2021, we had 33,000 houses that were completed, but they were still for sale. For April 2022, it's 38,000. So as you can see here, over the past 12 months, it was hovering around 33 to 34, but we saw this big increase from March to April this year, a very important metric to track, because if this number continues to increase, meaning that builders are building houses and they're just sitting on the lots and they're not selling, that would be a clear sign that builders are in big trouble because they have a newly built house, but they're not selling them. So this is a big increase compared to March. However, when we look at the month supply for brand new houses that have been completed, the numbers are still very low. So right now it's at 2.8 months. This column here is the month supply of houses that are brand new that have been already completed. So right now we have a 2.8 month supply of brand new houses that are completed. So if this number increases greatly to, let's just say 6 months, then builders are gonna be in big trouble, because that's gonna be a clear sign that buyers are not willing to pay for these high home prices for brand new houses that are completed. So comment below with your biggest takeaways from today's video. My personal takeaway was this big decrease. I mean, the number of new home sales decreasing by 17% in one single month, and also falling well short of expectations. At 591,000, the street was expecting 750,000 newly constructed houses that have been signed under contract. This is of course seasonally adjusted rates, but this is a big decrease. Also, the month supply increasing to 9 months, the biggest amount of houses for sale since at least the last 12 months. So if you guys got any value out of today's video, then please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.